Racism is not just a white man's problem. 1 year ago, after an emotional moment of goodbyes, thoughts about what the future holds, and oh no, the sun is so much, what the future holds, and all of that, myself and my husband packed our bags and left the life we had known for over 30 years to start afresh in this beautiful land called Canada. And it's 1 year after. I'm still wondering if I really made the right choice, or if it's just the settling in phase that is still, eating up my brain and just making me think about things. On the side, I'm so angry with the leadership of my country, because if not for one or two, I won't be here, you know. But I digress. So we'll call this video a reality check. I'm going to talk about a few things that you should know and you should do when coming into this country. Take it from a 1 year old Canadian permanent resident, if there's anything like that. So let's get into it quickly. Number one on my list is coming with a lot of money. See, I don't know what they have sold to you. I don't know the idea you've been told. I don't know, who your preacher is or who your intel is, but coming with a lot of money. The assumption that when you come in less than 3 months, you're going to be settled and you get a good job that pays you, in millions and stuff. Dead that idea. Trash it. Throw it into a trash can. I'm not saying it's not possible. However, come prepared. Come in with as much money as you can get. Don't steal, save up and come in with a lot of money. It would help you. It would also, coming in with a lot of money and being comfortable would help you in your choices for the job that you want to take. You won't, just take any kind of job simply because you feel helpless and you just have to make money. So again, coming with a lot of money, will save as much as you can and coming with a lot of money. You will thank me for this later. That's one. Two, my people, never reject help. If you have anybody that offers to help you, someone you know, not a mad person. If you have family or friends that offer to help you, never reject help. Don't say, oh, I got this covered, I got this on lockdown, I don't need to stay with anybody. Anybody that offers you help, if you have anybody offering you soft landing is maybe you come in and you're going to stay with someone for a couple of months while you find your feet, and at least it takes away rent, if not anything, from your budget. When we came into this country, we had yard members in the country already. If you don't know, let me tell you now, I belong to a yard, and in my yard we have sense. So we stayed with our yard president and vice president. We stayed with our mama and papa yard, mommy and daddy yard for about 5 months. Where we are staying, we're currently paying 2,100. If we had started paying that rent from the day we landed, that's $10,500 saved for us, by the people that we stayed with. And not just that, accommodation, feeding, transportation, and all of that for the first time when you're trying to settle in. So if you ask me, I'll say this: don't reject help. When people offer you help, take it, grab it with both hands and say thank you. And you that is also receiving the help, be wise with the help you're receiving. Don't now go in and make people uncomfortable in their own space simply because they're helping you. Now, number three, see, in this relocation journey, every skill you have is relevant, except maybe armed robbery, prostitution, any other one. But any skill you have is relevant. Customer care, braiding, cutting of hair, IT skills, attentive listening, effective communication. Don't think that a skill isn't relevant. Every skill you have is relevant, because the job market right now is crazy, and you might just be suitable for a kind of job that isn't necessarily what you were doing back home. But because you don't want to take something else, or you feel like you must stick to a particular name or a particular title, you might lose out on opportunities. All you need is just a foot in the door, and it can, open the way for more opportunities. So don't, sit on any skill. Any skill you can gather, get it. Um, Handwork, knowledge, certifications, provided they are global. Don't just do certifications based because people are doing it. Think about research on the department, your career path, what you want to do. Focus there and look for the relevant certifications that you need to excel basically, and do them. Again, every skill is important. Driving is relevant. Some jobs that I see that I'm very qualified for, when I look at the must have, they say I must have I must have a Fuji, like be able to drive around town, because maybe the job is a sales sort of job and I need to go into clients' offices, just a lot of things. But basically, every skill you have is important. Don't look down on any skill. Now, number 4, after a year, I'm here to tell you that nobody lied to you about the weather. If you think that he lied to you about the weather, I am here to confirm that he didn't lie to you about the weather. When it is cold, it is cold. You see that thing that we call, I will refer to my home country. You see that thing that we call 16 degrees, like the AC, the highest, that be the coolest is 16 degrees. That's trash. Just dead it. If you want to really practice or rehearse for life in Canada in the winter, or any of these other, foreign places that we go to, try staying in your freezer for 1 hour. Close the freezer, like enter the freezer, close it for 1 hour. That's the closest to what they mean by the weather is extreme when it comes to the winter. And when it is hot, it is hot. At the moment, it is almost 7 p.m. And boy, I tell you that I can't look at the sun. Like, it's too bright, like the sun. And in the winter, it's really cold. It gets dark at 4 p.m. That be the sun sets at 4 p.m. And in summer, the sun rises at 5 a.m. and sets at 9:30, 10 p.m. It messes with your brain. Just take it from me. If you're not like a conscious person, it messes with your brain. Now I understand when people say they have seasonal depression. I really understand it. I don't have seasonal depression. No. However, I totally understand when people say they have seasonal depression, because this thing messes with your brain. You really can't function well because you're not just used to it. And the fact that it's bright for longer hours and dark for very short hours, it can just throw you off balance. Another one is, I think I'll tie this together. There are 2 points, and it's speaking up and asking the right questions. See, there's something that my dad says to me, right? You don't know what you don't know. It's simple. Like, initially, the first time my dad said that thing to me, I'm like, but really, you don't know what you don't know. And until you ask the right questions, until you talk to people, until you speak up, talk to people around you, ask questions, you would never know. Because at the end of the day, you do not know what you do not know. Imagine my last video, I'm going to put the link up here. I made a video talking about how I now know where to get things at very, very affordable rates and fresh quality. And this is when it comes to grocery shopping, foodstuffs, and all of that. I didn't know. I used to go to the big names to do all my shopping, protein shopping, basically everything. But now I know of places where I can get stuff that are very fresh at very affordable rates. And the things I get from these stores are like, they suit my palate. They are closer home than what I used to get in these stores. I'm not saying it's bad to, inculcate new things when you move to a new environment. All I'm saying is, when you ask questions, you're more aware of the things around you. You know what to do, what not to do. Let's not forget that it's a journey. Like, it feels like you're a baby. You're learning how to crawl. You're learning how to walk. Think about it. All your life, you've lived in your comfort zone, your home country. You've had everyone around you. You grew up in this environment, so you know the nitty gritties. But right now, you're a JJC, meaning Johnny just come. So ask questions as much as possible. Speak up. Another thing about speaking up is the fact that someone has definitely been where you are. You're not the first. So speak up and get help. Before we proceed, if you haven't liked, subscribed, commented, or shared at this point, why now? What are you waiting for? Just do it. Do it. Thank you. Another thing you have to note, I'm going to be saying this for people for the country where I am, and that's Canada. The medical system here is just like government workers back home. Make of that what you want, but just know that it's not how back home you just up and go into a hospital and everybody's running up and down, to cater for you. If the emergency is not life and death, where the life is literally leaving your body, or it's government work, you're going to wait. You want to see a doctor, you have to book appointment months ahead. To be honest, just in your head, just decide and know that medical here is just like government work back home. Make of that information what you will. Another one, this one is very sensitive, and I say it with every sense of the word sensitive. Racism is not just a white man's game. Even people from other nationalities that you wouldn't expect to be racist towards you will go to any lengths to make you feel lesser than you are. For this one, what I'll say is just build your self esteem, be confident, and come ready. Know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Don't sit back and just form, oh, I just want to be quiet. I don't want them to misunderstand me. They are already misunderstanding you. Stand your ground, be smart about what you're saying, be confident, and know when to stop. You don't have to entertain everything, but just know this: racism isn't just a white man's game. You will see it in the workplace, you will see it in church, you will see it in search of accommodation, you will see it when you go into stores, you will see it when you want to do literally everything. Yeah. So just know this and know peace. I don't know if it's a human thing where people try to make you feel lesser than they are to make themselves feel better. I don't know. I really can't explain it, but know this and know peace. Next is the savings culture or saving culture. I am from Nigeria, a country in Africa. Saving is a big deal. Like, having savings is it's like a way of life. You save for stuff, not necessarily for, well, to an extent they say you save for emergencies, but if you think about it, you just want to save because you just want to have money for anything and just everything. We don't leave a credit system where I'm from. It's a debit system. You pay cash for what you want and you get it. But here, you're encouraged to leave a credit system. And that's because your credit score shows your worth to an extent. I don't know how to explain. I think I'm going to do a totally different video to explain this. But your credit score shows your worth. It shows that you're a trustworthy person. It shows that you're reliable. It shows you have integrity. And somehow, this just sort of makes you forget the fact that you have to actually save. Because if you're spending your money, like if you have the cash and you're paying for stuff, you would, in your head, you realize that I don't have money for this, so I would leave it. But when you have credit available to you, you tend to, I'll just do this and pay it up later. That sort of messes with your mind about savings. So if you're not very rooted, you might just trash your saving culture and just live life. Saving is something that you should not joke with. If not, like play like play, you will not have one kobo to your name. And lastly, I would say this as a bonus point. Who are people everywhere in the world? The only difference is a working system. Don't expect to meet saints simply because you left your home country. Don't get it twisted. Corruption is everywhere. Bad behavior is everywhere. Annoying people are all over the world. Bottom line, people are people everywhere in the world. The only difference is a working system. With this, we have come to the end of this video. This is my 1 year in Canada. I am so happy. Listen, guys, I haven't achieved everything I set out to achieve in 1 year, but I've achieved a lot. I don't like to compare myself with people. You get to say, oh, at least you've gotten this person hasn't gotten it. No, that's not my style. I compare myself with myself. And when I look at myself, when I landed here on the 1st of June 2023 and where I am now, we have achieved a lot and it can only be God, and I'm grateful. In the same vein, I would say to you, you're a newcomer, you're still planning to come in, you're a student, everything will fall in place. It doesn't have to be immediately, but eventually it will fall in place. And did I miss one point? When people say things about PRO and student route, which one is better? Basically, I would say to you, think about your future goals, your plans and all, and decide what works best for you. It's not a one size fits all. Think about your long-term goals. However, there's this great flexibility and comfort that PRO status gives you. That way, you're not running around for anything. But as a student, you have to do some certain things to enable you qualify for the PRO route and all of that. So it's a lot of things, but think about your goals, think about what you want to achieve, and you make the right decision. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. This is me signing out and saying thank you. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed up to this point, you're doing it wrong. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll be back to you next week. Have an amazing day. Have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed week. I love you, and I want you to know that Jesus loves you even more. Mwah. Bye. Oh my God.